All right, welcome to the home of right and wrong exposure, doing business as exposure in the raw. And of course, this 10-minute brief video will go over the timelines of the so-called Black Americans and, of course, also known as the FBAs. That's the timelines of them, as well as the inventions of the so-called Black Americans and also known as FBAs. It will also include, this video will also include the project proposal. All right. So with that said, I'll get started right now. One moment. All right. I also decided to skip over the timeline of the so-called Black Americans. Of course, I'll show you right now because what it does is it diminishes the overall, because a lot has been deleted, omitted, and things like that. So the so-called Black Americans, which I am a FBA, Foundational Black American. The thing is this timeline does not do us any justice because it's always starting at about 1500 or so. And being 58 years young, I know that a lot of us were already here. We traveled from across the peninsula. And of course, we walked from Jerusalem to America, across the Bering Strait. So we've been here for hundreds of years, not just 400 or 500 as they give us this date. And again, we come, the so-called Black Americans come from the crown of Africa. Again, we come from the crown of Africa. When I say the crown, you are looking at Africa here, and the crown, this is Africa, but the crown is just say that we put a crown on top of Africa, right? Well, there is Israel right there, right there. Jerusalem is within Israel. Okay, so that's where we are from. Those of you who don't know, and again, the Hamites, which are the Africans, collaborated with the other European nations. And of course, as I mentioned in my previous videos, excuse me, the Hamites, the so-called Africans, are a part of those nations. They collaborated to keep our identity, our very identity, hidden from the 12 tribes of Israel. And I'll show you that right now. So the so-called American blacks or Black Americans or foundational Black Americans are from the tribe of Judah. That is a tribe that Christ came through as well. So that's who we are. So a little bit about myself before I go over the inventions. I'm an inventor myself. I am a self-made 39-year entrepreneur, innovator, business consultant, inventor, and insurance agent. Again, I used to say ex-insurance agent, but I've obtained that again. So here is um, quite a few inventions that we invented, but it's up in the near hundreds of thousands of inventions. Like I went through this list and I didn't see the engine to the locomotive. I know that one of us, so-called Black Americans, invented it. I did a rhetorical argument on it in college, and of course, I also showed within my rhetorical argument how the PTO office, the Patent and Trademark Office, was burned down originally, the first one. And I don't have enough time to tell you within this video on why. So here's a number of inventions. Of course, we did the traffic light, we did the gas mask, we did the blood bank, we did the super soaker, the folding ironing board, the automatic elevator doors, ice cream scoop, the refrigerator system, meaning we did the refrigerator itself, potato chips, hair straightening chemical, um, multiplex telegraph. That is when you let me think here. When you send, can't think of it right now, but you're tapping on tap, 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 Morse codes. All right. We did that. Lubricating cup, the folding cabinet bed, the cabinet filometer for the light bulb, basically for the light bulb to work. In continuation, many of our inventions were stolen, and I always say, who had all of the talents, the skills, etc., during and after the um, enslavement, and that was the slaves did. That's us. This is why after slavery um, we basically, or they, shall I say, the Caucasian men, they created what's called the unions. They created that to keep us out of the jobs, the jobs. So back in the day, segregation was a good thing. We excelled. We had unity. We had innovation. We had self-sufficiency. So segregation, in my opinion, is a good thing. So here is um, a proposal that I'm proposing, and it's not necessarily for segregation, but this is a proposal. So if you'd like to be able to look it over, because there is power in unification, in unity, okay? So that's pretty much all I have there, and as this video will about to end here, I did put a watermark on it, but let me go ahead and end this video, and I'll continue with more. Thanks.